So, think about this for just a moment. You are told that you have to choose between the life of your family or the lives of everyone on Earth. What would you do? Now, me personally, I don't really like either one of those options because I don't really like my family or everyone on Earth. So, I would say the Earth has about a 50-50 chance, depending on how I feel towards my family that week. But if you were to tell me to choose between my dog and the planet Earth, well, y'all doomed. Knock at the Cabin is a 2023 thriller from M Night Shamalyan and starring Dave Bautista, Jonathan Groff, Ben Aldridge, and Kristen Coy. In it, a family vacation is rudely interrupted by a random group of strangers who takes the family hostage and tells them that their family is the key to prevent a coming apocalypse that will destroy all life on Earth and make things generally unpleasant for everyone except for their family. The only way to prevent this very inconvenient apocalypse is for the family to select one of their own to sacrifice. This movie asks the question, if you had to choose between your family and the world, what would you choose? And more importantly, how could you choose? What can I say? Knock at the Cabin is not as good as some of M. Night Shyamalan's offerings, but on the other hand, it's not as bad as some of M. Night Shyamalan's offerings. If there's an average of M. Night Shyamalan movies, this would be decidedly above that average by quite a bit. Honestly, this is probably M. Night's best movie in years, and I know that's not saying a whole lot given what he's inflicted on us as an audience, but it is better than The Visit, and I enjoyed The Visit, and it was better than Glass, and I enjoyed The Visit. Knock at the Cabin is a film that drowns you and the characters in doubt. Personally, uncertainty is something that gives me anxiety. It's my kryptonite. And so definitely this puts the thrill in thriller genre as far as this movie goes, for me at least. Characters in this film spend their time swinging back and forth like an unsure metronome. At one point, they believe, and the next they have their doubts, and it's not just the family that I'm talking about, it's Dave Bautista and his cultish crew. One minute they believe that they're on a divine mission to save the world, and the next they're questioning their own sanity or wondering if they've been unknowingly manipulated into carrying out a hateful agenda. It's good stuff. It's dramatic stuff. I loves it. Of course, you also have your stalwarts, the ones who believe unquestionably and the ones who refuse to believe anything at all. Everyone here is on a belief spectrum, and it brings them not only into conflict with their adversaries, but also in conflict with each other as that metronome of uncertainty ticks back and forth. It doesn't hurt that Knock at the Cabin has some absolutely incredible performances in it. Dave Bautista, for example, continues to prove that he should be completely and without question taken seriously as an actor. I can also see why he's become frustrated with his role as Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy, since he's been regulated to nothing more than comedic relief. This guy has some serious acting chops on him, and if this movie does not convince you of that, you could check out his work in Blade Runner 2049 or anything else in his resume. Dave Bautista is fantastic in this movie. A paradox of calmness and threat, a contradiction of nurturing and danger, physically intimidating and yet gentle, soft-spoken and yet a source of menace. There are thousands of actors who would have fumbled this ball in a moment, but Dave Bautista completely sports analogied it, and we need to stop speaking of him in the same breath as The Rock because they are not in the same league. Not at all. Dave Bautista is not the only heavy hitter in this movie. Truthfully, there's not a single dramatic weak leg in the entire cast. Jonathan Groff and Ben Aldridge both sell the peril and concern that they have for each other and their daughter, and masterfully, I might add, M. Night does not load us down with a lot of exposition about this couple, but rather chooses to reveal a little bit at a time through well-timed and very short flashbacks to happier times. These were scenes that the movie could have skipped and lost almost nothing narratively, but they serve to really get us attached to this family and show us the affection that they have for each other outside of crisis situations when emotions are high and everyone is screaming. Seeing a bad dinner with the family, the first moment that they met their adopted daughter, or even the simple drive to the cabin in which the movie takes place endears them to us. It raises the stakes, and best of all, none of the flashbacks wear out their welcome. They are short, they are sweet, probably under 3 minutes or less. I'm happy that I can say this about M. Night Shyamalan movies again, but this is masterful directing. I also have to point out an absolutely stellar performance from Rupert Grint, who I was so happy to see on the big screen. Granted, I'm sure he's done other things since Harry Potter, but I haven't seen them, so I'm happy to see him again regardless. His turn in this movie is short, but his performance is incredible and heartbreaking and hard to watch. It is without a doubt a highlight of this film. Finally, I'm not sure what dark force that M. Night Shyamalan partnered with in order to find the best child actors possible, but little Kristen Choi is not only the cutest little girl in the entire world, but she holds her own with these adult actors and gives it her all. She performs so effortlessly that you can't help but smile. All I can say is bravo, little one, bravo. Knock at the Cabin is a very efficient movie. It only has one location, it doesn't waste a lot of time before getting the plot going, and doesn't dally on trivialities. As a matter of fact, this movie is fairly uncomplicated, and only gets annoying near the end when it gets a little too explainery, and one of the characters actually decides to start explaining the archetypes that the members of the cult filled. I would have also liked an ending with more uncertainty, as the ending is decidedly certain, and thus feels out of place with a movie where uncertainty seems to be a theme. I have never met M. Night Shyamalan. On the whole, I enjoy most of his films, but I get a sense that for a while he started to believe the narrative that had been constructed around him, that he was the new Alfred Hitchcock, the master of horror. Come on, this man wrote a movie about water nymphs and cast himself as the most influential writer in history. If that doesn't say you're full of yourself, I don't know what does. So with a head full of hubris, he made some of the worst movies I've ever seen. Even today, I don't think I will ever forgive him for The Last Airbender. His career became so much of a joke that even Robot Chicken was making fun of him. I get a sense now that we're seeing an M. Night humbled and matured. As a result, his movies are more measured, more thought out, and with a ton less ego. I like this M. Night. I like this movie. I hope this M. Night sticks around and continues to make quality films so that the days of The Happening and After Earth become nothing more than a footnote. I take no pleasure in the failures of a filmmaker because as a film lover, those failures are also my failures. I wish nothing but success on everyone who makes movies, yes, even the man who ruined The Last Airbender. May that success continue, and may your best days be ahead. And that's it for Knock at the Cabin. It was a good one. I liked it. I'm happy. I'm satisfied. I am content. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. I cannot begin to tell you how much I appreciate your patronage to this channel as I try to go horizontal in YouTube and as you watch me grow from very amateurish to slightly less amateurish. I would also like to apologize to my children for the joke that I made at the beginning of this video, because truthfully, if someone came to me and said I had to choose between my children or saving the world, I would choose the world because that's where I keep all my stuff.